Ji, Prasanna Ji, Avinash Patel Ji, Asim Ji, Professor Naik, from whom I have learned a lot in my life, and also Mahajan Ji, who has been helping me a lot, especially in many ways, and all the intellectual participants of this atheist conference. I'm so proud to be here because it is the. I have been to India many times, but it is the first time of this kind, like meeting this kind of people in my life in India, especially. Generally, while I go to various programs, we are less discussing about. We are having less dialogue, but more speeches are there. But this program is organized in such a way that there is more dialogue, which is very important because that gives us more idea about what's happening in India and how we can collaborate. Also, I'm in India in comparison to other countries in the world because this is the land of Charvaka and this is the land of Bhagat Singh as well. And this is the land of Ambedkar and this is the land of Mahavir and Buddha. And those are the people who understand is inspiring figure to promote humanism and atheism in the world. Globally, these people represent a unique space. You cannot find a second country where such a bonding, such a mixture of humanist people in ancient age can be found. This is only this land. So it's a land of proud for the humanists and atheists in the world. There is an institute called American Humanist Institute, and they have a crash course for humanism. And the first thing they teach is the ancient humanist people must be Charvaka and Gautam Buddha at least. So this movement, the philosophy of humanism and atheism, is not Western idea. It means it's our idea and it has evolved from us. We have to be very proud of it. Those people who are saying it's a Western idea are the people who doesn't really know who they are. They doesn't really know what is their root. So we are the one who are in the root of our own ancestors. We are promoting our values. We are promoting our morality. So we have to be very proud of it. I would like to introduce Humanist International briefly because I'm working there as an international ambassador and I was also a member of the board. There are 9 people from different countries who represent the board, and we are the 2 international ambassadors who are actually fostering the idea of humanism to different countries. Humanist International is actually working in major issues. It is the only umbrella organization of all humanist, rationalist, freethinkers, atheists in the world. So we officially represent more than 72 countries, and unofficially there are many other organizations. Like in Pakistan, we cannot officially represent there. So there are some groups. So we are working with them. Let's say in Iran, let's say in Russia, we have some groups there, but we cannot officially represent them. We have been campaigning for the right of humanists and atheists. I'm sure you have been seeing a lot of news about persecution of humanists and atheists in the world. So-called biggest democracy in the world, this country, India, has been, I think, in the focus of international humanist movement because some great legendary humanist personalities from India has been prosecuted. They have been, brutally killed, and they have been put in the target. They have been targeted so badly. Whenever I talk to Professor Narendra Naik, he's always saying, "I hope I will live longer. These people will not come and shoot me like other our comrades were killed brutally." So that kind of voice is still there. I'm sure there are hundreds of people who have similar kind of problems, similar kind of suffering. So we have special staff team in Humanist International who are actually looking after the right of those people. They represent in UN, European Union, and other international agencies. So those teams are always working for the promotion or protection of the right of those people. Next thing we promote is forum. I don't know how many of you know about FORB, freedom of religion and belief, because just because you have different religion, just because you have a different belief or you don't have a belief, you don't really have right to express your idea. You don't really have a right to associate. For an example, it was very struggling for Bright to establish in India, and it is one of the issues we have to raise as a freedom of association. Because if you associate yourself as an atheist, you have right to establish your organization as an atheist globally, because the Human Rights Declaration gives that right. So we are promoting that kind of right. Next thing is we are also working with the humanist organization on capacity development, because we are working in very isolated area globally. Like for an example, Bright is working in isolated area somewhere in a corner of let's say India, and next organization is working let's say in Nepal in a small corner. But we need more networking and we need more capacity so that we can utilize our synergy to strengthen our movement. So we have special program for capacity development. We have special staffs working for that, and even we have a committee in United Nations. I'm sure you know about that, which promotes the religious and religious four issue like freedom of religion or belief. While we talk about belief, it's also about atheism, which doesn't believe. So we have special curriculum developed to train our humanist organizations together with the United Nations. And networking is our key issue. Like we try to bring all the humanist organizations globally and share ideas and strengthen their network. Next year, we are organizing one World Congress in Denmark. Many of you might have heard of it. So you are welcome to join that program where thousands of humanists from different parts of the world will come and share their idea. So if you haven't heard of it, I can share the link to the Bright email, or you can go to Humanist International website. You will see there. Other thing is we are currently working so focusedly on protection of humanists throughout the world. So who should be protecting the humanists? It is the responsibility of the state actually. But state is actually not protecting their own citizens. So now we are working with the parliamentarians to make the issue very to focus on this issue. We have invited some member of the parliament from, especially from South Asian country, and we go to some other country to discuss for 3 or 4 days, and we ask them to at least lobby or advocacy for the life of the humanists as well, for the life of the atheists as well. So this is a very important program we have been running. Some of the member of the parliament from India, they said we are not allowed to expose or share their name publicly. But we have invited some member of the parliament from India, Pakistan, also from Sri Lanka and Nepal. So those member of the parliament will also be working for our right in silently. So I think that is a big achievement we have recently made. So these kind of activities are regularly carried out by the Humanist International. If you have other ideas, if you have any more suggestions, you are welcome to give us feedback so that we can utilize it. Especially, I would like to request our humanist organizations, atheist organizations, free thinkers, or rationalist organizations in India to document or collect the evidences of threat or evidences of the challenges we have been facing in this country, so that those evidences we can utilize to lobby in UN and other international agencies. It will be much more easier for us to lobby, because this threat is like life threat. It's not a small threat. So we have obligation to protect the life of each humanist there, being an umbrella organization of humanists. For that, I would like to request any humanist or atheist organization and individual to provide information so that we can lobby there. And next thing is humanism in India has a very long route, as I already mentioned. but I haven't found any collective archive in India. Let's say Kerala has a very strong humanist movement there, very deeply rooted, of course. Maharashtra might have a similar movement, and if we go to other part of India, we have really like very deeply rooted cultural humanist value and practices and philosophies there, but we are not really archiving them. Maybe it is the language barrier because India itself is like more than a continent for us. Maybe someone or bride should collect all those, information, especially the booklets, bulletins, biography of those valuable people, and put somewhere digitally so that the coming generation can learn from them, which is missing. I think we have to take initiation on that. If Humanist International can collaborate in this issue, we would be very happy to collaborate together with any humanist organization here. Also, Humanist International provides some platform for international exposures. You are welcome to join us. There are some scholarship or freeship we have provided for the people who want to travel to different countries and learn about humanism. You can that. We are targeting more young generation in this, so younger generation are more welcome to engage in this. Next is we are very much engaged with civil society organization to draft UPR. It's called Universal Periodic Review. So if we need to write specific thing about India, you are welcome to send us more information. And that we will put in the Universal Periodic Review, and we will sit in front of the Foreign Minister or Foreign Secretary of the Indian government and evidence. And that's, I think, very important platform we can utilize for. Yeah, these are the things we can collaborate with you so that maybe because Kumar Ji was insisting me to uh, list what kind of plan of action we can make to collaborate ahead. That's why I was listing those kind of issues. Now, for sure, the right-wing movement has been growing not only in India, internationally. See what's happening in Britain, what's happening in UK. Right-wing politics is arising. But interestingly, as Professor Nayak mentioned, the humanist people are increasing faster than them. The recent census of UK told us that 37% of British people are non-believers. This is the first time. This is the first time Christians in UK are in minority. This is the first time, and they are shocked. And you might know about UK that the religious group or the Queen is also a representative. King is also the representative of the religion. Sends the lords in the parliament. It is formed by the lords, and now we have started questioning. Okay, those lords doesn't represent the voice or the life stance of the UK because they don't believe in any god or goddesses. How can you send lords in the parliament because they don't represent our voice? I think this is very strong voice, and now slowly the practice of this Christianity inside the parliament or their influence is shaking. So that kind of activities are going on internationally. So even in India, I can see right-wing movement is increasing. Our humanist trends are in threat, but at the same time, the humanist value has been come to the light. People are talking about atheism and rationalism and free thinking. I think the organizations are more organized now. They're discussing now. See the example of Bride. It's the first time somebody was telling me in India that at least 30-40% of our members are younger generation, below 30 or something.
Average age is below 30, so that we are trying to maintain that average age because trying to involve the young generation along with we are presenting some new qualitative information and trying to attract new generation.
Yeah. That's really great achievement, and India has that history and legacy, and we can maintain it. More the right-wing suppression will arise, more the people want emancipation, and we are the one who emancipate the society. See how there was a big suppression, and as a result, India got the best constitution in the world. Of course, no constitution in the world can say that it's a duty of people to promote the scientific thinking. I think our lawyer Asimji also mentioned same thing. I can hardly understand Marathi, but I was just making my own imagination. So hope that was true. So that was the best thing. That is the best thing India has got, and it is our duty to promote it, of course. So this is there. That is why we don't really have to worry how much the right wing will flourish. But the constitution already is there. I think they will not have any gut or majority to change the constitution in this country, because the global phenomena is very different. One thing I don't understand is, especially in the context of India, there are many people who are non-believers. There are some loose research happening. I just read them, and there are many people who are non-believers and atheists as well, percentage-wise. Why are we not putting that particular thing in the census? We need to count our number. It doesn't matter if 10%. Even if we are 1%, let's see, it's the worst case scenario. In the worst case scenario, if we are 1%, even though we are 1%, we are the officially recognized minority. So on that basis, we can do more advocacy. So I think we have to lobby on putting our, that question, whether do you believe in God or not, or whether do you believe in religion or not, in the census question, so that will lead us officially towards strengthening our movement and identifying more people from the humanist background. These are the key things I would like to mention. Is I have already told you, Humanist International is open organization. It's a strong organization in terms of lobby and advocacy internationally. We publish one report annually, which is called Freedom of Thought Report. This year, State Department of USA officially invited us in Washington DC to release the report, which is an achievement for us as well. Sometimes European Union also invites us for jointly releasing the report. So international community and some democratic countries are very much interested to jointly work with us, because the value we promote is a value of human rights. We promote scientific temperament, which is the core value of promoting democracy and promoting science, which saves the people. While every religious organizations were shut down, closed during the pandemic, we were the only one who were going to the house of the people and saving people. So we are the one who have that capacity of chamatkar. Our Professor Nayak doesn't believe in chamatkar, but that kind of chamatkar of making vaccine, this is the only who can make the vaccine. If you were going to the temple or churches or mosque or somewhere, I think we would have been killing a lot of people rather than saving them. So we are the one in the field. I also work for the WHO, and there was a data, especially in the context of religious countries like India or Nepal or other countries, especially in Africa, that religious centers, temples, and those kind of places became the center of spreading viruses. So that we were asking governments to stop, close those organizations till the pandemic happens, till we will not invent a vaccine. So I think those viruses are spreaded from there. Now, not only viruses, but also all this nonsense is spread from there. Also, of course, they have right to go to the temple or churches. We cannot really stop them. But while there is a crisis in the world, we humans are needed. We have to stop. We have to close their temples, and we have to go to the house of the people with the weapon of science. And the weapon of science can be utilized only by the rational mind and humanist thinkers in the world. So we are there to collaborate with you, especially with the scientific community, especially with the journalists, especially with the lawyers, and also our friends, our network members internationally. Thank you very much for giving me time. Let's see everything. Thank you.
Almost trying to elaborate the situation worldwide. Okay, and he has given a lot of good suggestions.
I would like to request Mr. Uttam, you can send a mail. We'd like to remind you, Mr. Patil is there as well as Mr. Nair, somebody also. They have been wide security. So they are just talking very nicely, but they have to take the security. Without security, they will cannot work. So that is the situation. Okay, but consolidate.
No, we have numbers of
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you are also member. Oh, good. Congrats.